This little video clip, entirely unedited and unrehearsed, unfortunately, we will call thinning of fruit. Thinning of fruit. If you have a bucket of apples or a pound of apples, one bucket of small fruit, one bucket of large fruit, you will have more to eat in your bucket of big fruit. That's because you eat the flesh around the fruit and you throw away the core. The bucket of small apples will have more apples, consequently more cores, and consequently more wastage, especially given the fact that it takes more out of the tree to produce the core structure and the pips and so on. The bit that we eat is really just sugar and water. So it's better for the tree to produce a bucket of big apples. It's better for you to pick a bucket or a pound of big apples. Another problem with small apples is that they have a bigger surface area to volume ratio, so when you store them, if they're a late keeping variety, they will tend to dry out quicker. They will become wrinkled in storage. Naturally, the tree will thin itself out about June. That's called the June drop. The tree will recognise that it's got too much fruit, and you'll naturally get a drop in June where it thins itself out. Also, about the same time, if you've got apple sawfly, which most people do have in their orchards, the sawflies will thin usually about 10% of your fruit out as well. So after the June drop and the apple sawfly drop, we would then, at the end of June, thin out our fruit. Ideally, with eating apples, we would have a fruit about every 4 inches. If they were cooking apples, we would have a fruit ideally about every 6 inches, because we're not fertilising the soil. If we were chucking on loads of fertiliser, we could have more. This tree here, I omitted to thin this year, and as you can see, the tree is overcropping. When they overcrop, another problem is disease. You can see this one here I've just picked. It's been bird and wasp damaged. It's gone rotten. It's got brown rot. You can see those pustules there. Well, if that brown rot can spread from one fruit to the next, thereby infecting a whole cluster. If they were thinned out, if the fruit were thinned out, if I'd got round to thinning them out, they wouldn't be touching, and therefore you wouldn't have this sort of problem. If a tree like this overcrops, which it is doing this year, the likelihood is it will exhaust the reserves of the tree, and we're likely to get much fewer fruit next year. The tree will become biennial, and some varieties are naturally biennial, some can easily become biennial. This particular one is a Welsh one called Gwechnamil, which the English in Monmouth, where it comes from, call it Seek No Further. It's a fantastic apple, but it's easy. It would appear, there's no written records of it, it would appear that it's prone to biennialism. So Gwechnamil especially, you should thin out. That's it.